XRP has been performing very well in the recent days, and you're watching some level of volatility evolving, and some people are panicking. I would say this is not the time to panic. Look at what we have done historically at these moments of time, where you have the MACD, the RSI confirming something, and the price then pops. Not once, you're following it one, two, three, and this is the fourth time it is coming back. So in last 10 years, whenever this has happened all the way back, you're watching that something just gave you a confirmation that it is about to pop. Yes, for sure, when you go back to these days, you have to zoom in so much to understand, to recognize what was happening back then. And this gives you the ability to see, okay, we are not even there anyway near a big pop. The big thing is just coming. Now, if you have hard time understanding that, look at this. There's a Bitcoin dominance. It's still trending higher, just a short-term correction, which means the big money is not yet here. For that, you have to go back into the XRP on a monthly. Does this look good to you? I mean, this is absolutely bullish for me. With these small movements, you still have a lot of upside on the monthly. That is huge. The MACD is confirming you're bullish. The RSI is confirming you're bullish. And you have to break this. And I'm like, maybe by the end of December, we are going to break through this. And that break on the trend line on the monthly means on a weekly, you are entering the overbought territory. And historically, last 3 times when you have done that, the price popped. Whether it's 10, 15x as the first pop or a 20x. Whatever, you're looking for a 10 to 15x pump on average in XRP. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. I'm so happy watching a lot of you guys are smashing that like button, like 700 plus like after a long time. So if you are there watching this video, please do smash that like button for me. Now, when you go into the crypto market, we do watch a lot of these assets are starting to pop 60% for the month. Now, we had given you guys the idea, watch this. Almost close to 600 people are taking benefit of this. The market is taking off. Look at this. Like in a week, Cake is up 87%. Trust Wallet is up 50% for the week. Neo is up 85% for the month. So you're actually watching a lot of these coins taking off and all our calls being spot on. And I'm really happy for anyone and everyone who is taking benefit of this. We are now at that point where we told you a month back, watch, this is happening. And right now, assets are popping left and right. If you really know where to look, you already are in a lot of trades which are popping through. But short-term volatility will be here. There is no way you can move out of that. The market is here to stay. Let me actually first give you a macro outlook of XRP. Then we'll jump onto the micro. What's happening now, what you can expect for next couple of weeks. We'll go for that. But understand the macro direction is where the micro will lead you. Always keep this in mind. If this is your trend line, this is your macro move. The micro is like this. You have a lot of volatility in between, but you're still following the same exact path, the same direction. There is no change in that. Now, it can get a little bit confusing if you don't understand the basics, but let me break this down. Here, what is happening in terms of the price action? You actually had a pop, you retraced back, testing the bottom, and you found out, yeah, bulls are really strong, you cannot push this back down. At that time, price was already showing you I'm turning bullish. RSI was showing you I'm turning bullish. RSI broke above the moving average when the price was here. So it already showed you I'm going higher. And the market did move up. Great. Now, what can you expect further from here? Maybe next 1 month, next 2 months, right? Great. So you go back. Last time something similar happened, it was like this. The price action in XRP did run up like a 250%. Great. That's not bad. That's good. That's really good. And you go back in time and you're like, okay, before that, what happened was like, you go to the positive territory in the MACD, you slow down, and then you cross back up in the positive territory or close to that. At the time when the RSI is breaking through the moving average, the price popped like 18x. That was a big rally. Great. Now, you go back and you want to find, okay, what was the last time before that happened? You're like, okay, the MACD came into the positive territory. It almost touched back the negative and then went back up. RSI was already showing you, no, I'm going back up. And then the price popped 16x. Now, these are the price, now that would be, say, 13x. So these are the price fluctuation we are talking about. If you go back in history, take time, learn, you are now watching that this kind of resonates much, much better within whatever we have seen in the history. So if something has happened 3 times in a history and ended up with the same result, then when 4th time it's happening, either you see an average of these or you see something very similar to the big pops, because we haven't actually had a big pop in XRP till this point for like last couple of years. We are watching all these movements. We had some in 2021, but not big like 2017. And that is where the monthly is guiding you. Remember, we followed this long-term chart and showed you, historically speaking, when you come here, the price move up. When you come here, the price go up. When you come here, it should do something similar. So you now have a lot of different data points in the market showing you we're headed to that direction. But for sure, what will be the volatility like? So you have to zoom in. We go in on a daily chart. We want to first see what we are looking at. Keep this in mind. This is what leads you, right? So now here we are. For me, I'm looking at this and I'm saying like, okay, I personally think we can actually see something like this, the price coming a little bit lower. Maybe this range, the previous support, which turned into a resistance, will act as a support. Great. What would that be like? That's around a 15% down. For me, that's completely fine. Now, what am I watching? I want to see the RSI slowing down and coming back up above the previous range. That is the bullish signal. That means the price is going up. Now, if you do see that the price is going up, good, but the RSI is not, that's where you look for a corrective movement after that. Say, for example, the price goes back up, pumps, but the RSI kind of slows down here. At that point, you're like, okay, maybe we are making a local top. Somewhere close to $1, $2, maybe it's going to be the range. We really don't know. We'll have to follow the price action and the market, because we can be wrong, but the market is always right in that point. It's trying to fetch for the right price. Now, while that happens, you're like, okay, let me actually zoom into a lot of these. I want to see what's happening on the short-term narrative. Here, your trend line is super bullish. If you actually put in an arc here, I think that should actually fit very, very well. You follow this. This is what the price action has been doing. So getting a little bit of correction here and there is not a bad deal. You should come back down to the moving average and then go back up. Because if you look at the RSI, it is showing you it's following a trend line here. You come back down to the trend line, you bounce higher. You come back down, you bounce higher. This is how things actually go. Some people will take profit. New people will enter the market. So the corrective movements in the markets are healthy. You want to see an area becoming a huge level of support. So if you actually plot this, you can put the argument this range has become a strong level of support here. So if you actually take that and put in an accumulation range there, I would think that would feel better. So this is an accumulation, micro level of accumulation. You did that, you did the markup, you're going that way. Until and unless you get a distribution pattern or reaccumulation, you don't have to go negative. Because historically speaking, if you zoom out, you're just starting. There is no way you are watching for a reversal here. The MACD is crossing to the upside. Once that happens, whenever you have seen that, next 2-3 months, average say 2 months, has been super bullish. You would have maybe now we are close to like 0.7. We may actually do a 200-300% move, which for us at this point is a big deal. That will attract a lot more capital into the market, because you need to understand, on the other end, the macro is something like this. So stock markets are still going to bleed, the valuations, they are still going to go down, and money is going to float back into this ecosystem, which is the crypto market. All of them would be focused on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin consolidating here would give us the Bitcoin dominance dropping. That's what we really want to see. When people are taking profits from Bitcoin, they move into altcoins. That for altcoin is huge. Why? Because when you actually go into the market and you understand the fact that the market right now is close to $1.365 billion, which means we got $365 billion in last 1 month when the market was still slow. Great. Now, in that, you kind of recognize the fact that around 65% or say 52% is Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is slowing down, you're going to watch a lot more money flowing into some of these alts, and they will start popping back up. See, if you actually look at some of these, I would say, okay, let's actually just randomly take in a meme coin, because once you see the meme coins going crazy, that's where you should be asking your actual question, like, okay, if a meme coin is popping, the meme coin mania kind of, brings us back to the historical moves. So like we have seen this similar thing happening a lot of time. So repeating patterns, this happens a lot in a lot of different assets. It just shows you, if you understand the price structure well, it is following the history every single time. Now, if it has done something like this in the past and the result was 1, I would actually say, okay, let's actually watch what was happening while the price action was showing you a particular price structure. This is important in my opinion. I'll say, okay, this is what you're looking at. Most likely, that's going to be the scenario. And you're watching that the RSI is showing you something like this. And let's see if the MACD agrees. Yeah, it kind of agrees with it on a weekly. So if you do see a continuation pattern, say you go on a monthly chart and ask the question, what the hell is happening here? A lot of people in the traditional finance will have a hard time agreeing on this point. But, basically speaking, you're actually watching a channel here, a rising channel or a trend which is actually popping through the roof. This is what's happening here. So if you do pop, now you have a lot of upside. From where you are now, if you actually plot that, you'll say, okay, that's nuts. You're going to go a 16, 17x run up. That's a possible move there. But obviously, you'll have to see what the whales are doing. If you reach at the midpoint and they are dumping huge, your targets are not valid. You will have to follow the market and exit the market. So on a monthly, the idea is it's going up, at least on the short-term run-up. On a micro, you are looking like, okay, this is becoming a support. This will be the accumulation range. The Wyckoff Creek is done. So you're going to go test this range. So this is going to be your resistance. Now, what does that come into? I would say, okay, look at this. That's a 60% move in the market, which is still there. Now, yes, these currencies or the coins are still in the accumulation phase. Say you look at whether it's a meme coin or go to a utility asset, all of them are showing you something similar. So that means there is going to be a consolidative phase coming in soon. At some point, you will see Bitcoin moving back up, taking money from the altcoins. That's where you'll see a lot of opportunity. If you have already missed all of these opportunities, then you may have to have a little bit more patience. Or you should look at assets which are now trending up. That's what we are doing. SI family is well updated on all of these assets one by one. We are going through all of these assets, where it's looking good, where it's looking bad, whether it's a red flag, whether it's an opportunity. All of those are in front of you. One by one, we are going through that. People are pouring in the ask for TA requests. We are going through all of them one by one. So you actually understand what is coming in for next 2 to 3 months in a lot of these assets. So if you want to participate in that, this link can help you. Now, if you want to do a one-on-one session to discuss about your portfolio, to get my thoughts on what I see in that portfolio, whether you have huge risk, whether you don't have much risk, based on your personality, your risk tolerance, we'll actually go through that. But if you want to do that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where we do all of this for the SI family to make sure this time you'll take profit. You won't let the market take those profits away. You want to make sure that is the ideal goal. When these coins are popping, don't jump in and catch the green candle and get burned. Don't do that. Be prepared, get positioned. When it pops, you take profits. We've been closing some of these positions and I've been informing you guys in the alerts, right? I've been sharing the screenshots. So make sure you get access to those. It kind of helps you much better in this market cycle. So if you want to see value, again, I request you guys, please do smash that like button. Let's keep that like popping. With that being said, I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.